Technology in Jordan. He got his PhD in catalysis in the catalytic process and material from University of Twente in Netherlands in 2007. He worked for 2 years after that in DSM resins again in Netherlands. And after that, since 2009, he has been working as postdoc in Center for Applied Energy Research at University of Kentucky in the Fischer-Tropsch synthesis group. His areas of interest include water gas shift dehydrogenation and dehydrocyclination. Currently, or today, he's going to present on aromatization of hexane over platinum KL catalyst and the role of intercrystalline diffusion on catalyst performance using isotope labeling.
Thank you. Good morning, everybody. So today I'm going to present some work in aromatization of hexane on platinum KL catalyst.
Go for it.
Yeah, and I'm going to focus on the role of intercrystalline diffusion on catalyst performance using equilibrium and equivalent of deuterated and undeturated hexane. So this work is done in Stanford for applied energy research, and so this Bird Davis and also Gary Jacobs and this Chef. As you know, benzene is an important feedstock for many industrial applications like drugs, plastics, synthetic rubber, and dyes. And even before the release, it was very important for the gasoline because of the high octane number, but because of the carcinogenic effect. So now the use is limited in gasoline. And even in the 19th century, it was used as aftershave, actually. So you could find heavy benzene all over CK at that time. The commercial catalyst that they are used for reforming as a reforming catalyst, which is the platinum on chlorinated alumina, promoted with other metals like rhenium, tin, or rhenium, germanium. Actually, it's very good for dehydrocyclization for the C7 and above, but when you use it for hexane, it shows lower selectivity. In 1980, Bernal reported the exceptional activity and selectivity of platinum KL catalyst for dehydrocyclization of hexane to benzene. And from that time on, there are many studies trying to explain why it shows this exceptional activity and selectivity to benzene. So actually, it's divided into two parts. One group focusing on the geometric effect of the that involved by alzylite structure, and the other part focus on the electronic effect that comes from the alzylite. So if we see the Troster and Stiger group, so they indicate that the alzylite increase the probability of the terminal carbon absorption, and they explain the high activity because of that. On the other hand, Duran and Van der Weken indicate that the pre-organization of the hexane molecule inside the alzylite, because the alzylite forms parallel the shell of the benzene, that special shell that gives the high selectivity to benzene. And Iglesia indicate that it's the intrinsic activity of the selectivity of the clean small platinum particle size that reside inside the alzylite. And on the other hand, Gates and Risasco focus on indicate that the location and distribution of the platinum inside the alzylite has stronger effect on the activity and stability. So the ones inside the channels give high activity and selectivity to benzene, but the ones that are outside the channels give you more hexene and the catalyst also deactivate. So if we see the other group that focus on electronic effect and the resistivity of the alzylite, Martin Davis group indicate that the basic alzylite stabilize the very small platinum clusters inside the alzylite because of the high electronegativity of the oxygen inside these channels. On the other hand, Garcia and Taylor indicate that there is an electron transfer from the K inside the alzylite to the platinum, and these platinum are rich in electrons and give you the high selectivity and activity. Also, Pollock and Fukunaga indicate that the electrostatic effect from K plus has a role on the activity and sensitivity. So you can see that many trials explanation, but all groups agree that K-alciloid has really good activity and selectivity to benzene. So what I'm gonna do here, we want to study the or investigate the influence of the alzylite structure, if it's really unique, and its effect on the catalyst performance in case of dehydrocyclization of hexane, and by using the isotope therapy. So we want to prepare the catalyst in a way that we want to deposit most of the platinum particles inside the alzylite channels, and then we will use equimolar of untitulated hexane to investigate the existence of normal kinetic isotope effect. And from this one, we can have info about the radiothermic step, and also we will have info about the reactant entrance and this diffusion in the, if it has a role in the reaction. So here briefly, what we did to prepare the catalyst, we used zeolite from Sultimi. We calcine the supplement 400 degree, and when it's put down, we mix in block bag that filled with inert gas with platinum acetyl acetate, and then we upload the mixture in sublimation tube that's sealed from one end, and we connect the other end with the vacuum system that can reach 10 minus 6 to shell. And to sublimate the platinum, to sublimate the precursor, we keep at the room temperature for 4 hours, and then slowly we increase the temperature to 70, 80, 90, 100, and keep at this temperature for 1 hour. And finally, we heat to 130, 15 minutes, and then we cool down to room temperature. After completing the sublimation process, the catalyst is yellow in color, and then we decompose the platinum acetate by calcining the catalyst at 350 degrees, and the final catalyst was light gray in color, and there was one way present. Then we characterize the catalyst. Actually, the goal of characterization was to determine the interior location and the platinum particle size of platinum cluster. So we use PET, hydrogen absorption, and FTIR. In this table, I show you the PET and hydrogen absorption. So first row is for the support. It has high surface area, 290 meters squared per gram, with pore volume 0.14. So when we prepare the catalyst, the surface area, as you can see, it drops to 190. So it seems we have some platinum particles that are big enough to block some of the pores, and then you lose some of the surface area. And also the pore volume goes down. But when we measure the Q absorption of the catalyst after reducing 450 or 500 degrees because of the testing temperature, you can see that we have high hydrogen platinum ratio, and that gives you almost around 0.5 nanometer. So from this result, we see that some of the pore are blocked, and also we have really extremely well dispersed platinum catalyst, platinum in the catalyst. So to determine the interior location, we study the FTIR. So here in this figure, you see the evolution of the platinum cardinal. So with time, so the bands are increasing, which means that we are forming, and with the wave number below 415, we are forming the platinum carbon that are stabilized with the oxygen-rich electron inside the channel. And if we compare it with the platinum alumina, this band is one level for the CO absorption 1% platinum alumina. So it's a linear CO absorbing platinum. And you see that for in case of platinum MTL, we have many bands below 2050, and those may correspond to platinum carbon. And the platinum carbon form when you have very small platinum particles with CO absorption, and this is seems what we have, that we have very small particles inside the channel. So from the hydrogen absorption and the here, so one can suggest that we have really very small platinum inside the channels of the alzheimer. So to check the catalyst performance for the hexane dehydrocyclization, we reduce the catalyst at 450 or 500 degrees based on what's the temperature that we test the hexane dehydrocyclization. We also test at 300 degrees, but before 300 degrees, we also reduce at 450 in order to be sure that the catalyst is reduced. These are the testing conditions, which is from 300 to 500 degrees atmospheric pressure with the weight RSS close to 10. We use hydrogen hexane ratio 6 parallel with the commercial test. And here we are using equimolar hexane, undetected hexane with detected hexane. For the conversion and selectivity, we use the GCR's ID. We could clearly separate the deuterium, deuterated and undeteriorated hexane, so we can calculate the conversion of each one separately. And to check the hydrogen deuterium exchange with the recovered hexane, we freeze the product using dry ice, and then we analyze it with the GCMS. Okay, this table shows the hydrocyclization of the equimolar of this catalyst with time streams. As you see, the conversion for the undifferentiated one with differentiated one, we have almost comparable conversion. The average is 41 with 34. So when we calculate the normal kinetic isotope effect, which is KH or KD, we got almost a value which is near unity. As you know, the CD bond has higher energy than CH bond. So here one can say that the CH bond activation is not involved in the radiothermic step. We can see also from the test that we have high selectivity to benzene and also the catalyst is almost stable. So from this one, when CH bond is not involved in the radiothermic step, so one can suggest that maybe it's a reversible absorption. So if it's reversible, you should expect that we will have HD exchange. So what we did, we measured the HD exchange in the recovered hexane after the reaction. So here, use the open circle with the dotted line. It's the HD exchange number of deuterium as more percentage for the undifferentiated hexane and the closed circle for the differentiated hexane. As you see from this figure that there is hardly any HD exchange, which means that the absorption of hexane is irreversible. And that means that all hexane that absorbed is completing the reaction to a final product. So if we check the HD exchange at 450 degrees, as you see that we have plenty of HD exchange, and it seems that the absorption for hexane at this temperature is changed from irreversible to reversible. And this is also in agreement with literature that the hexane, the HD exchange, is a function of temperature. So from the HD exchange and the kinetic isotope effect at 500 degrees, so we don't have any kinetic isotope effect, and we have no deactivation of the catalyst, so no biomolecular reaction. And considering also that we don't have a HD exchange, these two indicate that the reaction, the hexane dehydrocyclization, is controlled by the entry of the hexane inside the alzyl channel to the platinum that resides in the channel, the loops of the channel. So let's also have more evidence of that. So if we consider, if we look at the literature that the alkanes and cycloalkanes, so the HD exchange in the recovered reactant, usually when the reaction temperature is below 480 degrees, you have high HD exchange. So even with this literature, if you go to 300 degrees, so you got the equilibrium HD exchange in the recovered reactant. So this is an example for platinum silica. The HD exchange reached the equilibrium at 300 degrees. So we decided to check at 300 degrees what's going on in our catalyst. So here are the comparison between the HD exchange for the recovered exchange 300 degree and 450 degree. As you see it, we have even this HD exchange than the 450 degree, and that's strange based on literature. Unless is the if the diffusion of the hexane inside the zero channel to the platinum crystal that has the own energy exchange is the rate determining step, then we can explain this situation. So here, since the diffusion is function of temperature, so you need high temperature to have faster diffusion of the hexane to the platinum sides, and that's the reason why at high temperature the hexane diffuses faster than 300 degrees, so it can have the HD exchange. But in case of 300 degrees, since the diffusion is slow, then you expect this HD exchange because of that. And that also supports the idea that the diffusion of the hexane to platinum side seems is controlling the dehydrocyclization reaction, and that's the reason why we don't have the activation of the catalyst, no biological reaction, and then it gives you high activity and selectivity. So here one more evidence also. So if we consider the structure of the alveoli channel, it's uniaxial. So it has the pressure, the diameter 0.7 nanometer, and the loops inside the channel is 1.1 nanometer. So if you consider the diameter of the hexane molecule is 0.45, so one can expect that it cannot access strict one by one. So this is also support that this unique structure controlling the entry of the hexane to the platinum side. That's the reason why it's stable. So from this study, we see that by physical paper deposition, we put there very small particles that are inside the channel of the alveoli, and those are stabilized by the rich oxygen, rich electron to the oxygen inside the alveoli. And 500 degrees, we don't have any kinetic isotope effect, and we have a lack of HD exchange, and that indicates that dehydrocyclization of hexane on this catalyst is controlled by the hexane entry, and probably also by the same diffusion to the platinum side. Our study actually in agreement with the Iglesia that the alveoli keep the platinum clean by preventing the biomolecular reaction, and that's the reason why it's so high activity. And I would like to thank you for your attention, and I'm ready for our questions.
Questions for Khalid?
One of the distinguishing features of the platinum zeolite is the hexane aromatization. It is extremely high sensitivity to sulfur, an order of magnitude lower sulfur concentration. Is it possible that we need a basic platinum particle and a basic zeolite? So if you put platinum on a basic support, magnesium, calcium oxide, it filters fast, platinum.
Okay.
The alveoli, by preventing the filtering of platinum because of geometric confinement, does it manage to preserve a basic platinum particle on this support? Because the fact is more sensitive to sulfur, the sulfur absorbs the electron withdrawal out of that sulfide. The platinum particle is rich in electrons. That is possible only in a basic support. Are these two related? The electronic factor of having an electron-rich platinum particle,
Yeah.
and the geometric factor of preventing the sintering of platinum.
Yeah, actually, it's not for sure that it's not centering because of the electron transfer from the alveoli.
Alveoli it doesn't. But suppose you put it on, let's say, another base support. It seems that's why platinum on other base support is not good cancer.
Yeah, but here we need to consider that also the unique structure of the enzolite that has uniaxial, so the channels, they are not open to each other. So each channel has an axis and an exit. So even if they are going to center, I think they can center inside the channel and can migrate to the mouth and they can center above the mouth trade. But I think the small platinum cluster can be centered just using the platinum with the inside the channel itself. But maybe with the other channels, maybe it's difficult to have a contact. And that's the reason why maybe also because when we reduce at high temperature, 600 degrees, we still have particle size less than 0.1 nanometer. I don't know if I answered your question, but yeah, maybe we can talk later.
Bruce?
So you posed a number of hypotheses from the literature at the beginning, including Iglesias. Do your results rule out any of those hypotheses?
I'm sorry?
Do your results rule out, tend to discount any of the earlier hypotheses from the literature?
It's difficult to rule out. Even if, because also the platinum inside the channel, and then you prevent the biochemical reaction as also Iglesias mentioned. So that's an option. But even the electronic effect also from the enzolite many exists and also has a role. So it's very difficult actually to rule out some of the things that's mentioned in the literature.
Okay.
But at least here we show that the diffusion of the hexane has really big role in controlling what's going on with this catalyst. Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. There are no more questions. Please thank Dr. Khalid Azzam. We'll have a short 10-minute break. Get back here at 11. I guess 11 or 2, but 11 o'clock.